The VA has had a long-standing program to help guys get dogs, but it's only been a pilot program. It's never been established into anything more specific. And I understand we're talking about a huge endeavor to give every, let's just say, PTSD medically needed veteran a dog. So I can understand them not wanting to. And that made this next headline, me kind of excited about it. There's a new bill being pushed in Congress called the Puppies Assisting Wounded Service Members Act of 2017. And it directs the Secretary of Veterans Affairs to make grants to eligible organizations for service dogs to veterans with post-traumatic stress disorder and for other purposes. The Secretary shall carry out a pilot program, this one's still a pilot program, under which they provide a $25,000 grant to an eligible organization for each veteran referred. They also would include paying the cost of commercially available vet insurance, hardware replacement if needed, and covering travel expenses for obtaining the dog. Now, on the surface, it seems like a really good thing. It's actually a partnership between the VA and the Humane Society of the U.S., and it's been stalled in committees and different things since about June. So I was going through it, and I was like, too good to be true. This is too good to be true, way too much. Paragraph I happens to be the second to the last paragraph of the bill, outlines the offsetting of funds from the VA Department of Human Resources to fund this program. Now, putting aside for the second the absolute bullshit of them offsetting the money, why not just put it up front? Why not just make it simple and easy, and this is what we're going to do? So at least that, and I get why they're hiding it. It's something they've done with legislation forever. It's not a new thing, but it really aggravates me that they go so out of their way to do it. Because we're going to find it eventually. And it also doesn't put any more money into the VA proper. I'm sure there will be a few employees that would administer the program, but every dollar of this $10 million that the VA is losing then goes to a contractor. It doesn't go to other departmental things that the VA might need within their own PTSD dog program. And then I noticed something else that was kind of weird, and tell me what you think about this. There's another bill that just got introduced, and this one's called the Pets and Women's Safety Act, or PAWS Act. The PAWS Act is also a nickname for the first bill. And so this veteran bill that was stalled in June called the PAWS Act suddenly gathers a whole bunch more steam when another bill that's named very similarly for it comes out. And I'm thinking to myself, people are Googling this. They may only be finding one or the other. You and I dig through news a lot, but they may only end up finding, there isn't even a veteran bill. It's this domestic violence bill. Or what I'm actually fearing is the other way. There's no domestic violence bill. It's a bill about getting veterans dogs. Just another way for the Trump administration to skirt responsibility.
It's interesting how you talk about the second to last line item being how it's going to be funded. So much of this is not transparent. Whether it's, a lot of times we see major legislation coming through as riders to existing bills or as amendments to existing bills. And when you mention the funding, I think that's really important. And it reminds me of the post 9/11 GI Bill Act, which, we get this great GI Bill passed. And the one thing that causes almost all the Republicans in Congress to vote against it, despite the fact that they're the ones who really were most supportive of the war in Iraq and Afghanistan, these guys voted against it because they saw that down the line, the money was coming from a small, tiny percentage tax increase on like the upper 1%. So I think what you bring up is super important because how you pay for and how you finance these very valuable programs can determine who votes for it and can determine where the priorities are. And I'm so glad you brought it up. The dollars and cents matter, especially in Congress, especially with the branch that has the power of the purse.
So we're going to have more on this and other bills that are similarly written as time goes on.